Yeah, we've really entered this age of just mid Marvel movies coming out because, pre Endgame, the movies had a direction, had a story, had, a goal and a place to go. But now it's just directionless. You know, like there's Marvel's always had this problem. I guess DC to an extent where they have interesting villains from the comics, and in the comics they're fucking amazing. And again, there's a way of storytelling that you could do in the comics that you can't really do in movies, or it's not that you can't. It takes effort to do in the movies, but and I'll get to this soon. But not like they have decent villains that their entire arc begins and ends in that one movie in 2 hours, and that is like, oh, okay, well, that villain wasn't really that interesting, but and that's one of the issues. The other issues is what they're trying to do with this new Captain America movie. Like they're trying to replace Captain America, the original Captain America, with this character. Now, off the bat, if this movie was called Falcon, I think the movie would have been better. But it's the fact that they called it Captain America and they tried to pass it off as Captain America is a problem I had with the movie. It's like, oh, just call him Falcon, right? Like that's his character, and I get it. Yeah, in the comics, Captain America gives him a shield, but again, he never called himself Captain America. He still called himself the Falcon. Like that argument just kind of falls apart when you realize, okay, yeah, okay, Roger gave him the shield, but he still called himself Captain America, the Falcon, and most like he's trying to pass his lineage off to this guy right here, or who I call Captain Senior. Right, Captain Senior is just some random dude that came out of nowhere. Like we don't know this guy. We haven't established this guy. He's effectively a nobody. And if he was Falcon, and he just had a team of a couple of these dudes that I don't know. This guy can be Eagle. Another dude could be I don't know fucking Parrot. Like I wouldn't have had a problem with it, but obviously they have to replace Captain America because why the fuck not? I don't want to get too into the movie, but there's one part where in the fight scenes in the movies, this movie was mid, but if they shut the fuck up and fight, the movie would have been okay. But halfway through every fight, they would be like, "Oh wait, actually, we don't want to fight because it'll blow our budget." And it's like, man, do you not understand why people watch superhero movies? Like, I want to see the superhero and the villain fight. Like, can we go back to a time where it's just the villain fighting the superhero and not, oh, but we have to talk. It has to be a telenovela for 50-year-old white women. Like, can we just have fights and CGI and turning your fucking brain off and just watching explosions like old Michael Bay movies? Which apparently they can't do it. Okay, so they start out and they're fighting this one dude. Now they had the same actor that played Saul in Breaking Bad as one of the villains. Like brilliant actor, but I think And he plays a decent character, I think, but I think he's wasted in this movie. Like, I can't even remember the villain he plays. I think he played, generic villain number 72. But I mean, I already kind of checked out of the movie now. I shouldn't because I need to. I wanted to do the video, but this was like Saturday when we watched the movie. So they've discovered this new uh they discovered this new resource mineral, thing MacGuffin called adamantium. So F in the chat for Wakanda with their vibranium because we found just another. Now, granted, they found it off a celestial, which okay, well that's another plot that I don't really care to get into, but sure. We're just whipping things and MacGuffins out of nowhere to drive the story. And well, his wings are made of vibranium, and they're trying to scramble to try to get this, uh, I guess this resource, and it got stolen from the Japanese by Saul Goodman, and this guy went after Saul Goodman, beats the hell out of him, but doesn't kill him because okay, yeah, sure, whatever. But then he went to his friend, which was yet another super soldier like Captain America, because, okay, why the fuck not? Another super soldier, because whatever. Which could have been an interesting plot, but that plot's over and done for. I don't know why we're redoing it. So he goes to his old friend and Captain Senior, and they're talking. It's boring, whatever. Cringe, but cringe is fine. And then they went to the White House. Now, when they went to the White House, like out of nowhere, his friend, Captain Falcon. I'm not calling him Captain America. He's fucking Falcon. Falcon's friend shoots up the president guy, who's played by who's the actor that plays Indiana Jones? Liam Neeson? Yeah, I think it's Liam Neeson. Shoots him, and now they're all flipping out. And there's a random white girl that they introduce who's apparently a widow, which, okay, whatever. Fuck it. I mean, we're throwing just randos out of nowhere into this. It's like you're trying to replace already good established heroes with randos, but they're not creating any new heroes. They're just, being like, oh, well, we're replacing this hero with someone different. Whatever. So she and Liam Neeson are in this like bunker, and they're talking to like these other nations, like I think it's like France and India, and Japan's not at the table because it turns out Japan found out that the villains were Americans that stole the shit, and they're like, okay, you're playing us, and Liam Neeson's like, no, nuh-uh, you're playing, you're being played too, and it's like, okay, whatever, blah 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 blah. So we cut to this scene where this guy, I'm probably skipping a little bit, but I can't be arsed to watch this again. He's infiltrating this secret base because they're trying to find out what the fuck happened because Falcon's friend was, I guess, was being mind controlled, which is something I called from the beginning that, they had this mind control power on like the super soldiers and they were programmed to do whatever. And now they're in the secret fucking base, and in the base, they found, I can't even remember. I think it's like Doc Ock or Megamind or that one villain that's one of the smartest that could calculate shit in his brain. And this is why I say they have interesting villains that fall apart almost immediately because there's absolutely no reason why he would put him, why fucking Megamind would put himself in this situation to be caught or to be found out by the other idiots. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. But I guess he did because why the fuck not? You know, yeah, I guess he's. Despite being one of the smartest villains in the entire MCU, they have to make him dumb for some reason and turn him into a petulant child. But whatever, he talks to them, and then he mind controls soldiers around him, and now they're battling it out in this secret lab. He gets away, and then they cut to the what did they cut to? They cut to them because the Celestial Island, I think they call it, is where they got the adamantium, and they cut to that, and now they're all trying to fight over the island because they're all being played by Mr. Mastermind Man. And oh yeah, another thing, like, I don't understand why this movie has this idea that in order for men to show emotion they have to cry like that. There's other ways of showing emotion for men other than pissing your fucking eyes just for no reason out of nowhere. You're like, oh, I pee farted, poo pooed in my pants. Oh, oh, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't know when we decided that stoicism and bucking up and doing what the fuck and dealing with shit. Like, when did we decide that was a bad thing or that was something that we shouldn't do? Like, again, my superhero fantasy isn't watching a bunch of grown men cry. Like, that might be yours, and if it's yours, that's, like, there's something wrong with you. Right? I don't like watching people get emotional and crying unless it makes sense. And not just crying just because, oh, we need to have this scene where he's getting emotional. Like, you don't have to do that. But that's later. So they fought over this island. Well, the fight's about to break out, and also they do this thing where they do everything in their power not to kill anybody, and it's like, well, I mean, we're kind of in the guises of war. You know, it's like having a couple people die is fine, but Mr. Falcon and Captain Senior are now flying around trying to, that they're stopping missiles in midair being fired at by the Japanese because they're like, fuck ya, Gaijin, we're going to the island ourselves. And so they're flying around, they're doing all this other bullshit that is, I mean, it looks fine, but it's also like, can we get some decent action going anytime soon? I'm getting bored. And, okay. Mr. Captain Senior fucking not dies. He injures himself because why the fuck not? Like, of course he has to do some stupid shit to injure himself because we need the crybaby emotional moment to happen. So Captain Senior is out for the count. They finish everything. They find out, and for some reason they try to make that Mrs. White woman be antagonistic for like no reason. It's like, we know you're just going to end up becoming an ally. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, okay, we know you're just going to go back to being on their side. Like you're acting antagonistic for no reason, and you're not achieving anything, Miss White Woman. You know, like white women anyway. But then we go back to the Liam Neeson because apparently he has a heart condition, and they find out that there's a pills that are helping his heart condition. You know, is laced with the same gamma radiation bullshit that what's his face well the Hulk is laced with. So now they're like the Liam Neeson's about to speak, and then Mr. Brainiac, whatever the fuck his name is like, oh, I'm the reason why he's where he is. And Captain America guy is like talking to Liam Neeson. You know, well before the speech, he's Mr. Captain guy talking to Liam Neeson, and this is before the Japanese are about to fire on him. Talking to Mr. Liam Neeson that your medical records, those pills are killing you and all that. And Liam Neeson's like, oh well, I'm dying. He's like, oh cool, of course, why the fuck not? And then we're fast forward to around the end of the movie where Liam Neeson, man, the president's about to have a speech, but then Mr. Brainiac got caught on purpose, and now Mr. Brainiac is speaking through the loudspeaker, being like, "Oh well, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me." And Liam Neeson's freaking the fuck out because he's an old man. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he actually legitimately is feeling like he's about to die on stage. Like they're parading an old man around at this point. Like what the fuck, man? Like please let Liam Neeson just die with dignity. Quit parading him around these fucking movies. So Mr. Liam Neeson, man, becomes Commie Hulk. He becomes the red guy, Red Hulk, and they battle out. It's an alright battle, you know, while it's battling, but then halfway through, he's like, you don't want to do this. You don't want to pee pee poo poo your pants. Like, they fight for a little bit, then they try to talk to each other, which is cringe. He's like, you don't want to poo poo pee pee in your pants, not today. And then he's like, oh, okay. He's like, remember your daughter, you went to see the Sakuras. And then she pee pee poo pooed her pants, you pee pee poo poo your pants. And then, okay, he goes from the Hulk back to Liam Neeson. And then they cut to the jail. Well, a lot of other bullshit happened, but they cut to the jail where Liam Neeson is talking to Captain America. And he's like, oh, well, I deserve to be here. I'm like, okay, you're an idiot, but whatever. And then they cut to the Mr. Falcon looking down on Captain Senior in the hospital. And then Bucky comes in. They literally paraded his corpse around so he can come in the movie. And Falcon's like, I don't think I'm worthy. And then Bucky's like, okay, yeah, you are worthy. Shut the fuck up, pussy. And then they had to have the haha funny Zoomer moment. You wrote that speech yourself? He's like, yeah, fucking, because I'm dumb. I'm stupid. You know, we can't have an emotional moment worth shit in this movie, because remember, like, if you exist in this state of perpetual nihilism, you can't take anything fucking seriously. And that's the point where we're at in these movies. Like, no one can take this shit seriously anymore. Like, you can't have an emotional moment without a funny, haha, meme. It's like, okay, what the fuck ever, man. You know, I bowed out already. And then he's talking to Captain Senior, and Captain Senior is like, I just want to be like you. Oh, oh, oh. Like, shut the fuck up, please. Just shut the hell up. Shut the fuck up and quit your goofy ass crying. Like, act like a man for once in your life, you fucking pussy. Pussy boy crying. It's like you fucked up. Like, buck up and get over it. Like, you almost got your dumb ass killed. So, just quit fucking crying. Deal with it. It's like, that's what he should have said. That's what any father figure would have said if their son's crying because of a stupid ass this mistake that they made. But no, we need to treat everyone like they're children, right? We need to treat everyone like they're 5 years old. So of course he's like, you can do it. Oh, it's like, okay, fine, fuck this. Like, I've already, like, a couple of my friends thought it was fine, and I'm like, I mean, I feel like if our acceptance of Slop has really rose in the past to the point where we're just accepting Slop, like, we're not liking these movies, we're just accepting the movies at this point. Like, we're accepting that these movies are going to be some poo-poo doo-doo garbage, and there's nothing we can do about it. So, and I think it just ends. Like, again, I give this movie a 4 out of 10. It's just, anything past Endgame is garbage. It's dumb. It's treating everyone like they're poo-poo babies. You know, you can't have an emotional moment because you were nihilistic. And whatever. Like, wouldn't recommend. I watched it with boys, and it's fun shitting on the movie while at the same time I'm making a video out of it, so I guess I got something out of it. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. Peace.